Going live. Hello, everyone. Hi. Are we live yet? Yeah, we are live. All right. So, hi, everyone. Hi, everyone from GG Cloud KL. And at the same time, we have a special guest and also our friend, our neighbor as well, Wei Yuan. So, he's waving
Hey
at us.
guys.
He's also wearing the Google Cloud hoodie as well.
Yes.
The fan of Google Cloud. So a little bit about GG Cloud KL and also Wei Yuan, who is a co-organizer of GG Cloud Singapore, our neighbor. So what we both do is that we organize events. Even before the COVID-19, we organize physical Google Cloud meetup events. We invite speakers from various industries to talk about Google Cloud technologies in their own personal project or most of the time it's also about their company's implementation with Google Cloud. So what we are having an impromptu webinar today is actually we're trying to answer a lot of people's questions on GCPBoleh 2.0. Very amazing swag, very amazing amount of participants as well, and also amazing amount of questions. So this is a session where we answer your question, and at the same time, Wei Yan, who is from GG Cloud Singapore, will be giving a short lab session for you guys, so just so that you can get started when you sign up on GCPBoleh 2.0. So right now I'm just gonna share screen, and Wei will be talking later. I'm just yeah, promo Google Cloud first. All right. Just gonna remove Wei Yan from the stream first. Wei Yan, I'll see you later. We will see you later.
Yep. See you.
All right. Right, I'm gonna share my screen now, everyone. So be patient. Be patient. A little bit of intro as well for the. All right. So that's about the brief intro on the. Okay. Right now it's clearer. So a brief intro about GG Cloud KL and Singapore. Right now we jump into GCPBoleh's introduction. So to those of you who have not signed up for GCPBoleh, what it is, how it works, this is which I'm going to explain in next few seconds. So GCPBoleh is actually a virtual event where you learn about Google Cloud technologies via a platform, a third-party platform called Qwiklabs. So meanwhile you're learning, GCPBoleh also reward you with a bunch of swags, different categories of swags. It's separated with tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. Of course, tier 3, of course, we have 3. There's a lot of amazing swags here. As you can see, there's a bag, there's a cap, there's shirt, there's stickers, very awesome swags. Of course, in order for you to get into tier 3, you have to complete certain amount of quests listed on GCPBoleh's landing page, which is listed here, as you can see. So if you haven't actually signed up yet, here's the link itself. I'm just gonna unshare again. Right, so link. So it's actually. Oh wait, let me unshare. So wait. Yeah. All right. So it's actually GCPBoleh slash goo.gle/GCPBoleh. So that is the link where you sign up for GCPBoleh's website. So it's actually, yeah. So if you haven't signed up, please do. I repeat again, it's actually goo.gle/GCPBoleh. So that is the link. If you can't find the link as well at the same time, you may go to our Facebook page. So our Facebook page has the link. Ooh, my Facebook. All right. So GG Cloud Kuala Lumpur, and here is like our page. Get into our group. I may accept you immediately, or I may accept you in the next few days, depending on my availability. But liking our page is the fastest thing you can do without our approval. So again, the link is in our page as well. Just scroll down, and it's also pinned actually, technically. pin. So again, go.gle/GCPBoleh. Now, that is all for the intro and how you can sign up for GCPBoleh. Moving on to proceeding after you sign up. So after you sign up, so let's say you sign up for GCPBoleh after a few days or within a day, if you've got an email. So saying this is the sample email. This is exactly the email. It's not even a sample. This is exactly the email which you receive after you sign up for GCPBoleh. So this one is actually on how you can actually get your first few 9 credits, and in order to start your lab. Listen very carefully. So this is, I'm going to go slow as well. So this is the email which you will receive after signing up for GCPBoleh 2.0. And in order for you to start and in order for you to get the first 9 credits to start off your Qwiklabs session, here is clearly stated step 1, use the link. Now, not only you need to click on this link, but you also need to right click on it and open it in connector mode. So that is one thing you need to keep in mind, but just so you Qwiklabs doesn't mess up with the other Google accounts where you have, maybe you have Google account with your work, or maybe you have personal one. Open it in connector mode, right? In connector mode. So this is actually the one which you see from the email. So your first lab will be perform foundational infrastructure tasks in Google Cloud. So this is the one where you actually we need to sign in or enroll. Sign in or enroll is the same thing actually, but here we're gonna enroll first. So join to enroll in this quest. So meanwhile, we are in the connector state. Remember, we are doing it in connector mode. Sign in with Google account. If you don't have Google account, just create here. So I'm gonna sign in with my Google account. It's loading. All right, let's see. GG Cloud KL. Mine is a little bit special. Oh, KL test. Right, accept button, reCAPTCHA. Oh shit, mountains. This is embarrassing if I get it wrong. No. Okay, I'm right. This. No robot. Right, cool. Now, once you're in with your Google account, you will notice there's a slight difference in terms of the page itself. Right now, it's personalized. So if you're like choosing me, welcome choosing, or welcome GG Cloud KL. So in this case, now as you can see, there isn't any credits yet. Isn't any credits yet. I'm gonna refresh. The network is pretty slow today. And just to check on as well, your link, it should be campaign. Your link is a little bit more special if you actually sign into Qwiklabs as usual compared to during the GCPBoleh event. So link is much more special. You can see the edu.cr myboleh CN295, a little bit more special here. So now we're gonna go into specifically this one to see whether you're able to get it. If not, I'm going to try again. So we're going to enroll. Welcome to our first lab. If you want to actually watch a video, feel free to do so. I'm going to skip it. All right, cool. Now we have our 9 credits. Now this is the first step. We got our 9 credits. So a little bit, I'm going to repeat my process again. I'm going to go back. Is that once you're in, after you sign in connector mode, I repeat, you need to go to a lab called Perform Foundational Infrastructure Tasks in Google Cloud, specifically this one, and then you need to enroll it. All right. So because you're just signed in, you haven't enrolled. So you need to enroll it. And now, if you check your credits again, you have 9 credits, but it's not monthly subscription yet. So how do we get monthly subscription is that we will need to complete one of the labs. So in our case here, in my case, we will need to complete cloud storage, quick start, cloud console. So this is very important, because if you do not do this, or if you do not complete it, specifically, if you do not complete it, you won't get the monthly subscription to continue to explore other quests, which will earn you your numbers to move forward, move up to the tier and get your swags. So that is one thing. So right now I'm just gonna finish this. This is actually a pretty simple one. Right, and then when you're inside here, make sure you start your lab and recaptcha again. Traffic light. Oh my god, it's getting scarier and scarier. Okay, all right. Now, after the recaptcha is done, so it's launch with credit, and you click launch with 1 credit. Don't click on launch with access code, because no one has access code anyway. If you have, maybe. But we launch with 1 credit, so that's pretty straightforward. So you launch it. It's loading. All right, now we can start. Of course, first of all, let me see. Okay, nothing. All right. These are the instructions, setup requirements, blah, blah, blah. User account. Now, for this lab specifically, we are doing cloud storage, quick start, cloud console. So this is the actual one. And these are all introduction of each of the labs. So you will see the similar thing whenever you go into Qwiklabs. So what we need to do right now is to create a bucket. Create a bucket. Just open Google Console again. Now, in every lab, which Huyen will also be demo later, he's going to be demoing another different lab, which is a little bit more intermediate. Don't use your Google account, your personal or work. Use the Google account provided here. See? Username, password, and your GCP project ID. Use it here. Copy it. Just click this. Copy. Paste here. Next. Password. Not your password. Is Qwiklabs password. So remember that. This applies to every Qwiklabs session you're using. Accept. No, confirm, because there's no. I've done this before, but I kind of forget. All right, now we are on GCP's platform. It won't send to you anyway, because it's a demo account. All right, now what we need to do again, we need to go to navigation menu, storage, browser, and create bucket. So navigation menu. So this is a thing that you will experience later on. Navigation menu is this. What is it already? Storage, browser. Storage, browser. It's loading. Be patient, guys. All right. So right now we're in the bucket page, storage browser page. So what we need to do, enter a unique name. Qwiklabs. All right. Now, simple tip here is that even though Qwiklabs tells you to enter a unique name, you can come up with your own, of course, but it's also best to just use whatever they provided. So for example, they provided here Qwiklabs dash 002. I'm just going to use this. So create bucket. Okay. Can I actually do 002? I hope I can. Okay. Never mind. So let's go unique. Right. So select your storage region, multi-regional, location, multi-regional. It's already pre-selected. America. Okay, cool. You can try. Actually, yeah. don't try. Just put it as America US state, because we are doing on a virtual one, so everything needs to be consistent. Code line standards. Is it all? Okay, multi-regional. Now we have created a bucket. So our bucket name is Qwiklabs-gsync. Now what we need to do next step is, is to complete part of our lab. So I've created my bucket, check my progress, should be checked. So this right now we have done our first part inside Quick Start Clouds console. Now test your understanding. These are some of the things you need to do. Is it true? So archive. Is it true? Don't know. It's actually all. All right. So these are like some of the things you must actually complete in order to actually end your lab with everything completed. Now, after all the small quizzes that Qwiklabs provide you, the next one is actually upload an object into the bucket, because our bucket right now is a storage. And right now what we need to do is to upload our object. So right now in this session, we'll add an object. So our object here is actually a portrait or a PNG of Ada Lovelace. Right now, I'm just going to open in a new tab. This is Ada Lovelace. Save it. So save it anywhere. I'm going to save it on my desktop. Do I have it already? Oh, I don't have it. Never mind. This is a JPEG, sorry, it's not PNG. All right, right now, we have downloaded a portrait of Ada Lovelace, which is a JPEG. And now what we need to do according to the steps here is to upload Ada Lovelace into the bucket, because we just to store Ada Lovelace. Right now, okay. You can drag or you can upload files. I'm just gonna drag. I'm just gonna drag here. Where is Ada Lovelace? Oh, 800, it doesn't say Ada Lovelace. Upload started. Complete. Hey, so this is Ada Lovelace here. Oh, I did have Ada Lovelace. Okay. And then the next step is to delete it. Check the box and delete the box. So check it, delete, confirm, delete. Check. So this is like an introduction on how cloud storage bucket works. And upload again. This time upload files. Oh, I did upload files. Okay. Object. Click to the image on a local computer. Rename. Navigate to the image on a local. Click open. Image. So I need to rename this time. Rename. I'm on a Mac, so I need to just enter Ada. Boom. Right, and then I need to upload again the file. See one. Okay. Oh no, I need to update inside. Sorry. Maybe I just say Ada1 and add it back. Upload the image again. This time, click upload files. Upload files. Just now I drag, so that's a different one. So this time I'm loading another place. Right. So Ada1 is here, and what we need to do next is navigate to the image, blah, blah, blah. Rename the file. Okay, we need to rename the file to ada.jpg. So right now I just change it. So in order to rename file, we need to go to our far right, the 3 dots there, rename to ada.jpg. Correct? All right. Right, so some of you have said, is this an event just for developer? No, this is not an event just for developer. Anyone is welcome. And FYI, I'm not even a developer. I'm a product designer. So that's your encouragement here. So, okay, right, back to our Qwiklabs session. So right now we have uploaded EDA, renamed EDA, and right now we're going to check our second progress here in our labs. So check progress, hope it works. Okay, it works. Great. Yep, it works. Now, do take notice that each lab has a limited amount of time where you can complete. Some labs are some labs is 1 hour, some labs 30 minutes, some labs maybe 40 minutes. Yeah. So different labs, different time, our timing limit. So it's not consistent. Objection must be unique only within a given bucket through. So another third task, share an object publicly. Okay. To create a public access, select edit permission from the drop-down menu. So right now we are trying to share drop-down menu. Share this drop-down menu. Oops. Edit menu. They didn't specifically say. So the drop-down menu is actually a 3 dots one. Edit permission. All right. Now edit permission here. Our mission right now is to add a mission by entering blah blah blah. All right. Add a permission for a user. So we need to add permission, but for user, set public, enter all users, and select reader. So it's set for reader. Select. Wait, is it? Select public. For user and reader, save. Okay, done. So right now it's public access, so there's a warning because it's public to the internet. Normally you won't do that if you're in production, but yeah, so this is a demo. Right now we test again, see whether, all right, we have created. Now, right now we are in, again, storage bucket. Right now, the next step, I think it's the final ones, is to create folders. So how do we create folders here? Just follow the steps here, pretty clear. Click create folder, and our folder name is folder 1. So we need to create folder, not upload folder. Folder 1. Because I've done this before, that's why there's a drop down. Right, folder 1 inside this bucket. Same as the example given. So another one is to create subfolder. So now you click on subfolder. So I need to click on folder 1. So right now here is the breadcrumbs. So this thing is called breadcrumbs, a little bit of UX here. And inside here, we need to create another folder, which is called folder 2. Just call, I don't need to copy. Okay, create folder 2. Ta-da! Folder 2 is created. Click on folder 2. So fourth step is to drag the EDA Lovelace, which I downloaded just now, into folder 2, which is a subfolder right now. So I'm just gonna click on folder 2. We are inside folder 2. Double check, and well, drag my EDA Lovelace portrait here. Is it uploaded? It is uploaded. Rename the file. Rename the picture, the JPEG, into EDA again. Rename. How to complete everything in just 10 days? Good question. It requires patience and grinding. But you are not grinding the same thing. That's an answer for Duke actually. But try your best. If you can't there is tier 1 to tier 3. So depending on how much you can complete, your swags are different. So there's that. All right, moving on. So right now we have uploaded EDA into our folder 2, which is a subfolder of folder 1. And one of the final steps here is to actually set permission. So remember, we already practiced setting permission of a file we uploaded. So right now in EDA, Run and edit permissions again. Right now, public, it's public. So access is reader mode. So they only can read for everyone. So right now it's because there's a warning, it's public. And save. Edit Jetpack, save. Right now we need to delete this folder. We need to remove. Final step. Remove folder 1 and its content from your bucket. Alright. Navigate to bucket. You should see folder 1 list. Navigate. Sorry, this is bucket. Go back into my specific bucket. Right. Make sure you're inside your specific bucket that you created. In our case, Qwiklabs chasing. And right now, I need to delete folder 1. Check folder 1. Delete. Confirm. When you type in folder slash confirm. Right, we have still deleting. Any moment now. All right, it has been deleted. Okay, cool. So right now we have completed. You earn your badge. You haven't earned your badge until you click on Nlabs, but that is all for cloud storage, quick start, and cloud console. So right now we still haven't get our monthly subscription yet. So in order to do that, make sure everything is checked, positive, it's green color, every step is checked. And then if that is the part, just take a look below whether there's any extra steps you need to take on this lab. If there's not and everything is green and positive, then you can end lab. You must end lab in order for you to get the monthly subscription. So end lab. All done, yes. Rate this. Thanks for reviewing. Yes. So go back. Ta-da! Now, right now we have our monthly subscription, and that is how you guys, by signing up, GCPBoleh is going to get your monthly subscription, or before your monthly subscription is the 9 credits to start off this lab. And if you forget some of the things that I've said in this video, don't worry, it's recorded, it's on our YouTube channel. You can always play on our YouTube channel, rewind, reverse, slow-mo, fast forward, anything you want to do. And that's it from my simple demo. We only can solve questions that are listed. Oh yeah, Amira, I'm gonna answer those questions later after Wei-Yan's demo. So without further ado, I would like to invite Wei-Yan back inside, who's gonna give us another demo on a different lab. Hi, Wei-Yan.
Thank you, saying that was awesome.
Hi. That was scary, but all right, you may share your screen now. Okay, I'm gonna remove mine. All right.
Awesome.
Right, cool. I'll let you take over the stage. Right.
Okay. Hey everyone. So thanks Jiseng for just now the introduction as well. My name is Wei-Yan. I'm also one of the volunteers of GDG Cloud Singapore. And yeah, today I'm very excited to be bringing you guys through the demonstration of running through some of the labs, in fact, in the same quest that Jiseng has mentioned. So let me go through it a little bit. So this is the quest that you have to run, perform foundational infrastructure tasks in Google Cloud. Okay, so I think this one, as you have showed just now, each one of these are different quests. You just need to make sure you complete them, and different tiers, different amounts that are completed, you get a different tiers. So just one thing to mention, I think just now Jiseng also mentioned, when you run through the Qwiklabs itself, when you go into the screen like this, right, the entire, or rather this entire page itself is the quest when you enroll into it. So you have to complete every single one of this before you can complete the quest and get the badge. And each one of these uncompleted ones are actually called labs. So of course, if you have completed it, you can actually retry it again if you want. Like if let's say you want to sort of revise the same concepts again. So yeah, the idea is that you need to just make sure you get all these green check marks in order to finish like one quest. So let's say for GCPBoleh itself, you need to make sure that you fulfill all these criteria in order to get the quest completed itself. Okay. Yeah. So one thing to mention is that so this is more of a recent change within this year or actually not recent, but rather sometime now. And in some of the skill badges that we have seen, like for example in this skill badge that we've seen, right, you'll actually see that the first few labs itself are kind of like the normal labs, and the last lab itself is actually postfixed with this challenge lab. So the idea is that in different labs that you do in Qwiklabs, there are some that are guided and there are some that are independent. Guided in the sense that, like, what Qiseng has shown just now, you can actually run through all the steps that's covered inside that lab. If you're running through a challenge lab, essentially it's kind of like they just throw you inside and then you have to find out your own way of doing it. So of course for challenge labs, usually it also means that skill badge itself is a bit harder to obtain. So you have to of course look through it before you actually try and attempt and try and complete that lab. So we're going to try and run through like one basic as well as one challenge lab today. Okay, so yep, this is the quest. I think Qiseng has already shared this link. So let's go. So I've already started the lab itself. The lab is actually, so Qiseng ran through the Cloud Console one. I'm going to do the basic lab using the Cli one, just to show you like a slight variation of the different, same task, but two different ways of doing it. Okay, and let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay, maybe this is a bit too big. Okay, so basically, as Qiseng has already introduced just now, basically when you start the lab, you get the credentials here. I've actually hide the password just in case. And one thing that I just want to add is that in order to indicate that, or rather in order to, like, if you want to know whether you have completed this lab itself, you actually can just check on this top right over here. You click this yellow score thing. It's not really a button, but if you click it, it'll actually pop up this portion over here to let you know what portions or what tasks you have not completed. So it's also linked to all this check my progress buttons that you see over here. But this one actually I would say it's a bit more indicative. Like this is more of like a tip from me where let's say if I click this, oh okay, I already created this. Okay, I'll show you this later on. But let's say let me go to another one that I've not completed. So if I click this, right, they actually tell you haven't completed the step. It's not very indicative. So you can actually click this one over here. They actually tell you exactly like what's wrong. So let's say maybe it's a multi-step process that maybe you miss out one of those steps. So they'll try to give you the message and let you know, okay, what you are missing here. Okay, so let's go back to the top over here. So I'm just gonna collapse this. And basically when you start the lab, okay, let's say you start setup and requirements. Most of this stuff are actually usually the same. Once you run through it a few times, you don't really need to read through it again. But one important thing I would like to mention is checking authentication. So sometimes when you start the project itself, your user account is actually not binded to the Cloud Shell. So later I'll show you what's the Cloud Shell, but essentially you should actually just check this and make sure that your credentials are there. If it's not there, you can just type in gcloud auth login, AUTH, that's for auth. So once you log in, right, using the student account that they provide here, that will bind the student account with the Cloud Shell. Okay, so let's get started. So I've already opened incognito window over here. So similar to what Qiseng mentioned, right? If you start the lab itself, use the incognito window. I'm not sure if any of you have used like multiple Gmail accounts before. What happens is that this account is ephemeral. If it's deleted at the end of maybe 1 hour later or something like that. And basically what happens is that for the email console itself, or rather any of the Google accounts itself, right? Once one of the accounts is removed or the sessions have expired, all of your accounts in that same browser basically will be invalidated when you load any of the Google pages. So the problem is that, if you don't want to disrupt any of your your regular accounts that you logged in using your regular browser, do use the incognito instead. I would very much recommend that. So once you log in, right, you can actually click this. So I'm gonna just minimize this a little bit. On the top right, you'll see this button over here. This is actually for when you click it, you'll open Cloud Shell. This is actually sort of a virtual environment that you can use. You can see this is a command line interface. You can just go in and, sorry, not command line interface, this is a shell. You can basically use any commands typed in here to run the command line interface for gcloud. Okay, so this shell itself is not your local machine. Okay, by the way, this is a virtualized environment in the but provided by Google Cloud itself. So you can actually run anything here as long as it's legal. Okay, don't go overboard and provision too much resources. Okay, so let's try and go through the lab over here. So okay, actually I already created the bucket, but I mean just to show you. So just now Jiseng actually showed you how you can create a bucket using the console. Okay, so just to indicate that, if you want to find one very easy way to get a unique name, because for buckets itself, right, the name itself is supposed to be unique. You cannot sort of reuse the same name over and over again. So every time you start a new lab, right, you can't use that same bucket name even if it's a different user account. But one easy way is actually you can just use your project ID over here. Just copy it and just use it to create a bucket. So let's say for this one, I'm just gonna show you, creating of a bucket, not using the console itself, the web console, but using the Cloud Shell. Okay, because just now I already created it, so it already exists. So that's why they don't allow me to create again. Okay, let's move on to the next step because we already completed this first step. If you want, you can complete this. If not, you can just skip it. Okay, so for this one is because we're using a Cloud Shell, you can sort of use the different commands to help you, achieve what you need. So you can see over here that instead of downloading to your device, like the other lab, what we want to do is actually to use wget to get the file into this virtual environment. Okay, so we're just gonna download that. So if I do an ls here, you can actually see that it's over there. Okay, you can see over here, very small ada.jpg. Okay, so what we want to do over here is to copy using the GSUtil client. So this itself is essentially allowing you to copy, be able to run your bucket functionalities. For example, if you want to create a bucket, like I showed you earlier on, or if you want to delete a file, copy a file over, or anything related to the bucket. Mostly you'll be using the GSUtil functionality. The client. Okay, so let's go over here, and I'm just going to put the variable that I've already added for this bucket. Okay, and you can see over here, yep, they have successfully copied it over. In fact, if you go to the console over here, I'm just going to open this in a new tab. You can see that it's the same thing. Even though all you have seen me done is play around in the shell itself, if I go into the same interface that Jiseng have shown you earlier on, you'll actually see the same thing. Okay, so you see that yes, I created a bucket using my project ID. If I go in, you see that there's some ada. Okay, I'm gonna make this a bit bigger. ada.jpg. Okay, so essentially you can do it by, in the actual usage of GCP, you can either use the web console or you can use the Cloud Shell, or you can even download gcloud client into your local machine and do it from there as well. But in the case of for Qwiklabs, right, of course it'll be simpler, just use either the web console or the Cloud Shell directly. Okay, let's resize this. Okay, let's get back here. Okay, so we have already copied the file over. If you want, you can just remove it in your local environment, though there's, I don't think they actually check for this progress, but if you want, you can just remove it. Again, just to do an ls again, you'll see that ada.jpg is gone. Okay. Okay, let's now, so now it's saying let's download an object from a bucket. Oh, we have removed it because they want us to now try to copy a file over from the bucket to your local environment. Okay, let me try and make this a little bit bigger. I think it's a bit too small here. Okay, so just to show again, okay, that's too much stuff. Okay, do an ls, you see that there's only one readme over here. There's no ada.jpg. In fact, it's now in our bucket. So what we want to do is to go over here and just copy the file over from our bucket over the local environment. Okay, so I'm just going to change this to this. Copy from our bucket for that file itself, and you see that yes, it managed to copy it over. Do an ls, ada.jpg is here. Okay, so that's for the first thing. The second one, now they want us to copy to a different folder. Okay, same thing. I just need to go in here, copy the command, replace the bucket name, okay, to what I already have in my variable. Okay, so over here they will just copy it to the folder. Okay, let's just make sure this is correct. Okay, so we should have copied a file from the folder inside ada.jpg into inside now folder for that bucket. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick clear here, and let's refresh this. Okay, put it as full screen right now. Takes a little bit to load. Anytime. Okay, you can see over here there's this directory called image folder. Click into it, you'll see ada.jpg. Okay, so again, similar functionality. but using a Cloud Shell. Okay, let's now see what's the next step. Okay, so since we already completed this step, just now, as we checked this, it wasn't completed. We can actually click this to complete it, or you can just go to the top right over here, just click this. Yep, they'll tell you that it's completed. If not, they'll give you that error message as I mentioned just now. Okay, so over here, you can just run some functionalities that they have requested you to do. So, okay, I'm just gonna so this is same as running LS in a local environment, but this is running LS in the bucket itself. You can actually use that to visualize the contents that you have. In this case, we're going checking the root contents, root directory of the storage, the bucket over here. Okay, so in fact, yes, we'll see the same thing as they have depicted over here. Okay, so next step, these details for object. Okay, so let's do the same thing for here as well. Remove away this. Okay, the bucket. Okay, and then yeah, you'll be able to see like what they want you to. Again, same representation. They'll actually show you the intended results. What you should see over here. So in regards to information for that object itself. Okay, so just now we saw how to make the file itself publicly available from publicly accessible from the console. Let's see how you can do that using the shell. So using a shell, slightly different command, but using the ACL utility here. Okay, and let's again remove this, your bucket name, we'll change it to this variable. Okay, you can see over here, this is indicating for all users read access and the file, direct file itself. So let me just go back to if you go back to this, okay, let's go one to a root directory. Make this a little bit bigger for you. And permissions. So you can see over here that basically right now we have a few owners for this project, but there's no indication of all users being able to access this. So it's not, basically we haven't completed this task yet. Okay, so let's do that by running this command. Okay, so you see that yes, updated successfully. So let's go back here. I'm just going to refresh this. In fact, you can see that actually this has already changed. Okay, so you can see over here, public all users. Okay, so this is how you can actually use the shell, Cloud Shell itself to be able to achieve what you need. In fact, not just within Qwiklabs, but within your own GCP projects as well. And very much more convenient. You can use this to build scripts, run the scripts, and basically you'll be able to get a lot of things done, by just one click of a button, maybe inside your own local machines console, or maybe after you copy the script over to the Cloud Shell over here. Okay, so since we already completed our last task, again, I can either click here or here. I'm just going to click this one because, yeah, just to show that it works. Okay, and yeah, so just make sure that before you end the lab, you have 100 over 100 over here. If you don't have 100 over 100, they will actually not consider it as done. Okay, so just make sure you have this before you complete it. Again, if you want, you can, this one is optional. So actually, the funny thing is once you have already completed it, 100 over 100, the remaining steps, you don't really need to go through it. But for the learning itself, actually, I would very much recommend that you go through this. So let's actually do that. So let's do this. Okay, so we remove the public access away. I'm just going to run this, and we'll go back here. We'll just refresh this. You can see now that it's actually not public anymore. Just going to go through this and see. Yeah, you can see that the public entity itself is actually removed. Okay, so this shows that we have already removed access using Cloud Shell. And delete. Okay, so again, running this, change this away to bucket because that's not the correct name. Okay, right. So with that, we should see that this disappeared. Okay, so let's just bring it up. 8.jpg is gone. All right. So yeah, that's how you can use the Cloud Shell itself to help you be able to fix, let's say, solve some problems that you need to solve, when you're running your own GCP project. Okay, and this is for a guided lab. You can see it's very, very simple. You can run through it very simply, and basically you can just complete it because it's very much guided. As long as you have already learned what's required over here and get 100 marks, you can end the lab and get the check mark beside this check marks as you can see over here. So let's end the lab. Yes. Okay, ooh, 4 stars, awesome. Okay, so let's try out a different lab instead. Okay, we're gonna go with the challenge lab. So I'm just gonna pop this out and show you the difference as compared to the other lab. So you can see over here, it's one glance, it looks like the same thing. Okay, but as I scroll through it, you can see, oh, challenge scenario. Okay, they'll tell you, a bit of like the description of the scenario. They'll tell you, oh, task one, create a bucket. But they actually don't tell you what you need to do anymore. Okay, actually over here, they will tell you, oh, you immediately check my progress. There's no steps over here. So it's the same thing for all of this. They actually tell you, just okay, do this. They'll give you the materials, but they won't tell you the steps to do it. So that's why you need to have the understanding of how to do it before you actually try the challenge labs. Okay, so let's go for this. Okay, let me close this incognito window first because this is for the other lab. Okay, and okay, so I'm gonna start the lab. Give me one moment. Okay, so there's actually 1 hour for this, but actually it doesn't. If you know what to do, so I've already run through this. So once you know what to do, in fact, it is actually a lot faster for you to just complete. Ooh. Okay, don't look. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna just log in using this password. Let me type this password. Okay, so let me, it's a little bit bigger, we'll put both in the screen at the same time. Okay, so I've already logged in using one of the, so for this lab itself, actually they're asking you to log into the this first user account over here, okay, which is supposedly the owner of this project. Okay, so let's look into the challenge scenario. So the challenge scenario, actually there's kind of like a backstory. They kind of have this built up over here. Okay, okay, on this right side, I'm gonna check yes, agree the terms and services so I can start using this. So while we're waiting for this to load, you can actually read through the backstory of this challenge itself. Actually, one thing I would recommend is that before you start the challenge lab, go through the entire challenge lab. And if you can, you can start planning out maybe like some of the Cloud Shell commands or maybe the actions you're going to take, right now on a piece of paper and see, okay, maybe plan out part of your flow. Because as you start it, right, you can see the timer is going down. So if I don't manage to complete all 4 tasks by this 1 hour, right, I actually have to restart the whole thing again, which is kind of you have to restart the entire hour, which is not that good. But in this case, because it's a challenge lab, you're challenging yourself, not going through the guided process. Okay, so it's actually the idea itself, they're just saying that, okay, some of the constraints over here, if you want to create resources, make sure you create all resources in the US East 1 zone, unless otherwise directed, use the project DPCs. Okay, so you can just read through this. For most of this lab, actually, it doesn't really apply very much to this. Okay, so let's get started with this first step first. So the first step is they're asking us to create a create a bucket. Let's go to storage. Actually, if you want, you can actually use the search bar over here. Don't necessarily need to use the sidebar over there. Sometimes because there's too many things on the left side, it's a bit hard to see where's the actual tool itself. Okay. Let's close this. It's bugging out a bit. Okay, so yeah, we can create a bucket over here. All right. Just gonna close this. As I mentioned, if you want a very easy unique name, you can just click your project ID. Okay, so they're asking us, the restriction over here is to use yes East 1 region. So let's do that. East 1 South Carolina. Continue. There's no indication for the rest, so we can just use the default settings. Okay, so click create. All right. So once that's done, let's try. Okay, so yes, the first task is completed. Okay, seems to be very simple. Okay, but the first one, yes, using a console is very simple. Let's try going for the second one. Okay, for the second one, I want to give a bit of variance. Let's try creating using the Cloud Shell instead. So over here, we haven't actually talked about how to pop start. We haven't looked at the lab for doing this yet. But one tip I have for you when you're trying out, if you want to do some skill, you want to get some skill badges, and you want to complete the challenge lab, right, what you can actually do is you can actually go back to the quest itself, make sure actually you run through all the labs first before you get to the challenge lab. Because one of the interesting things I've observed here is that the challenge lab are actually these steps, right? It's basically an aggregate of or a combination of all these labs over here that you have completed before. So most of the steps are actually can be replicated like based on what you have learned before into this challenge lab. Okay, so let's go back over here. Okay, so I already have okay. Since I already tried this before, I already have this over here. So in order to create a pub-sub topic, you can just use the Qwiklabs client to do this. Okay, let me make this a bit bigger again. Okay. Okay. So we have this problem regarding login. So because the user credentials are not there, so we can just run Qwiklabs off login. Okay, they'll give you this link over here. You can just log in using the user account that they have provided you. Okay, so they'll give you this very sweet code. Just copy it and paste it back to. You see over here, there's this prompt for enter verification code. So you can just do that. Whoops. What? Okay, let's go back here and click it again. Okay. Okay. So you can see over here that I've successfully logged in. So I'm just going to clear this. Okay. Let's try and run the creation of the pub-sub topic. Okay. This time around, it should work. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm going to go over to pub-sub. Okay. You can see that it's created. If I go to the console for pub-sub, you can see on the top over here, it's going to appear. Topic 1, yes. So we have successfully managed to create the pub-sub topic using the shell. Okay, so let's go back to. I hope I'm not jumping around too much. Let me hide this so you can see this. So we already created a pub-sub topic. If you want, you can actually just use this one over here. If I'm not familiar with the Qwiklabs client and the commands, but if you are, yeah, Qwiklabs shell is definitely a lot faster. Okay, so let's check our progress. Make sure we have completed. Yes, we have completed. Okay, so next one. Next one is to create a cloud function. So cloud function is a serverless tool in GCP. So we want to, okay, again, instead of using this, actually I can just use the search over here. Okay, cloud function, let's search for it. Functions. Okay. At this point of time, if you don't want to use the shell, actually what you can do is just close it. Usually what I'll do is I just minimize it, because if you open it again, it will take a while to load it. So yeah, I'll just leave it here. Okay, let's create function, since it's indicated here, because we want to create a function. The task itself is to create a function. Okay, function name, if you want to rename it, you can rename it. I'm just going to leave it as this. Let's change the region as they have instructed. Trigger type, so let's look at the instructions here. What do they want us to do? So create a cloud function that executes every time an object is created in the bucket you created in task 1. Okay, so what we want to do over here is to change the trigger to cloud storage instead. Okay, and change the event type to finalize create. So every time there's a new object that's been added into the storage itself, this will trigger this cloud function. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's see. Over here, we can actually search for the bucket that we want to use as the trigger. So we have created this just now. We just click this and select. Okay, and let's see. Do we need to change anything else? I think over here, they actually didn't indicate for us to make any big changes from here. So you can actually ignore this. So let's save. Okay, so this is a configuration. Close this. Wait, hold on. Did it not move? Okay. So my bad. Yeah, I think it was stuck over there. So okay, once you reach the next screen over here, you actually need to paste in the. This is basically representing a function in Node.js. So you want to be able to copy this over. Okay, this is for JavaScript for using Node.js, and basically this will be done with, I think just now indicated, yeah, the runtime is Node.js 10. Okay, so what I need to do is just copy this contents over. Let me copy the package.json over first. Okay, just copy this, paste it here. Okay, and do the same thing for index.js. Okay, So the thing for cloud function is that you need to indicate what's the entry point. Okay. So over here, the function that we want to obviously run, every time you add an object inside your bucket is this thing called, this function name is called thumbnail. Okay, so we want to change the entry point to thumbnail. Okay, and let's check. There's another thing that we need to change, which is this thing. So over here, they actually also tell you, please make sure you change this to a topic name. Okay, so we have this. We need to change it to a topic name. I'm going to, let me duplicate this tab over here. Close this since we don't need this anymore. So let's go to get the topic name. So I need to go back to PubSub and get the topic name. Okay, boom, PubSub. Okay, make sure you get the correct one. Okay. Oh, it's going to subscriptions. Oops, I clicked the wrong thing. Let's hit topic instead. Okay, and go inside topic one. So topic one is itself, you see over there, topic ID, name you can get from over here. I'll just copy the clipboard, go back over here, and okay, just copy and paste. So let me do it in a full screen. So yeah, copy and paste to get the topic name inserted into the code over here. So this is the only thing you need to replace for this one single challenge lab. Okay, so let me put this in the full screen. So let's just make sure we have everything correct. Thumbnail as your entry point. Change topic name. Package JSON has been updated, and everything looks fine. So let's deploy it. Okay. So deploying the cloud function itself is going to take a couple of minutes. So while we're waiting for this to actually go up, right? You can actually, if you have already planned through the challenge lab itself, like let's say if you look at the next task is able to be completed parallel from this other task, you can actually just complete that first. So we're going to try and do that. So task number 4 is actually more of a IAM question. So they want you to remove the access for this second user account, username 2. So I'm going to just copy this. They want you to remove this user's access to this project. Okay. So what I'm going to do over here, I'm going to use this PubSub option over here. Okay, let's go to IAM. Okay, IAM and admin. Okay, while it's loading, so you can see over here, I'm going to jump back here. So they're still creating a function. Since it's going to take some time, let's jump back here again. So I'm going to search for this student account. So you can see over here, yes, there's a student account. There's a row of viewer. So you can read contents within your project. So since we want to revoke its access, you can just click edit member over here. Just click this bin button and save. And then boom, disappear. So in fact now, because this single user doesn't have any permissions left in this lab, so you can see that while we're trying to filter for this user, you won't get anything. Okay, and if I remove the user itself again, you can also see like what are the other permissions that are within, that are granted different accounts, given access to your project over here. Okay, let's go back to function and you see that it's still not done. So, okay, let's prepare for the next step first. So I'm just going to go over to cloud storage. Okay, so the reason why I'm going to cloud storage is that, okay, wait, actually, since I already removed access, let me just click this, check my progress. And yes, so you should indicate that I've completed it. So, okay, I already completed task 4 ahead of task 3. Task 3 itself, actually, there's one more step over here, which is that they want you to copy this file, okay, and download it to your machine and basically put it inside the bucket once the cloud function itself has been deployed. Okay, so what we should see is that this cloud function should be triggered to run some operations as prescribed over here within the code itself. Okay, let's go back to cloud function. Okay, cloud function itself has been deployed. So let's actually open this in full screen so you can see greater detail. What's this thing popping up? Okay, so let's click into the bucket itself. Again, empty bucket because we just created it, there's nothing. Since I already downloaded the image just now, I'm going to get the image directly. So you can see over here, this nice small icon over here. You can actually just do drag and drop if you want. It's I prefer that because it's a lot easier, quite intuitive. So I'm just going to drag and drop. It's just going to upload the file directly here. You can see map JPEG. Click it, boom, it's going to appear. Woo, yes, map JPEG has been uploaded. Okay, So now that it's been uploaded, it doesn't mean our job is done. If I go back to this, this lab page itself, I click this, it's going to be, oh, actually it's done. That's really fast. Okay, I was about to say that it's not done yet. We're going to see a red cross mark, but turns out it's done, so I can't really show that. But actually, we can explore a bit deeper into the cloud function itself. So let's say if it's not done, you can actually just go inside the cloud function, go to the logs. You can actually see it running by looking at the logs over here. Okay, it's loading. Takes a bit. Okay, you can see that actually just now it ran. See, it finished with the status okay. So what it did, I think part of the code itself, actually they will just copy. I think they'll copy the file, rename it, and then they'll push a signal to your topic itself. Okay. Bring this out. Okay, so with this, actually, we have already completed all the steps. So we can actually leave the console over here, go back to this. So just double check, make sure that you have 100 points over here, 100 out of 100, before you complete this lab itself. So yeah, once you have completed the lab, you can just click End Lab. Again, if you want, you can actually explore around the Cloud Console environment. Because again, it's the actual Google Cloud environment that you can use to play around. Like, it's not like some theoretical test where you have to just you answered something there, but rather it's a real life environment that you can actually put contents in it if you want. But one thing I have to warn is that don't stretch it too far. I have had an experience where I accidentally created a VM that was too big. Like, the lab itself was actually like creating a 2 virtual CPU lab. But I accidentally created like I think 16 CPU or something, a very big virtual machine. So the idea is that don't do stuff like that. I got banned immediately, and I actually write in and tell them to unban me. So it was an accidental mistake. If something like that happened to you, you can also write in and tell them to do that. Yeah. Okay, so since this is done, we can just complete this. Ooh, 3 stars. Why did you do 3 stars? Let's give it 4 stars. It's actually quite fun. Okay. So thanks for reviewing. So once you're done, you can just go back. So hopefully, let's say if you already finish it, you actually get quest complete, the skill badge itself. Yeah. So yeah, that's the main part of this. So I just want to go through one last slide. Basically some tips. Yeah, very important. Make sure you use an incognito window so that you don't mess up your accounts in your own browser. You can explore the Google Cloud while your lab has not ended. Like just now, you saw that I have 44 minutes left. You can actually just go around. Maybe you want to redo some of the steps to get familiarized with it because you are preparing for some task that you have at work. You can do that. If not, you can just close the lab to get the check mark. And then the last one I will say is that, yeah, if one thing that I've learned, I'm kind of like someone who has used Qwiklabs a lot. I've joined in like many different campaigns and games on the end of Qwiklabs. And one thing I've learned from using Qwiklabs is that definitely you should look out for their Twitter account. So if you go to their Twitter account, actually every week, or every other week, they'll actually post like some campaign going on where you can actually complete it. And if you're the top few, you can get swags. If you or at the very least, if you complete it, you can get the badge itself. So you can maybe for me to entice people, I guess you can. If you like gamification, for myself, I like doing that a lot. So I can show you like my public profile. I have like a lot of many different badges. Like some of this you won't actually be able to find them in the current quests that you do. So it's kind of like limited time only. So if you like gamification concepts like this, right, definitely do try out. Look out for their Twitter account. And yeah, lastly, local meetup groups like GDG, Cloud KL over here. Make sure you follow them. Sometimes they have things like study jams, and you can basically like this campaign as well. You get 1 free month of access, which is really, really cool. Gives you the power to be able to try out many different labs, not just the one in GCPBoleh, but you can also try out like different. Let's say if you want to try out, let's say, okay, for this one, I believe it's data engineering and ML. If you want to try out something like a Kubernetes lab, for example, you can go and try that out. Maybe if you need to bring out a Kubernetes cluster for your own job, you can use Qwiklabs as a way to prepare yourself there. Okay. So again, I just want to say very much encourage you to follow your local meetup groups. When they do all these study jams, it's a really awesome time to get free access to Qwiklabs. Oh yeah, and that's all from me. So yeah, hope you guys have learned something interesting from what I've shared over here. Yeah, so back to you, Chiseng.
All right. Hi. Right. That's a great talk. Different side, a different spectrum. If you want to watch the first half of how it's done, the second half is a much more technical part. Feel free to do so. There's part one and part two, different visual and console shell based. So there is that. Yeah, I think one thing to mention as well. Wayan said that do follow us for GCP Boleh, and if you're Singapore, if you're in Singapore and it's a Singaporean, Singapore does have another thing similar. GCP Boleh is called Majulah GCP. Uh, yeah, I think it just ended, right?
Yeah,
Or
it
is
just
it still
ended.
ongoing?
No,
Or it
actually,
just ended?
this swag is from that one, like around
Yeah.
1 month
So
ago. Yeah.
uh, yeah, there you have it, guys. It's a swag on live. So that is not a sample. That is literally someone wearing it, and even a tumbler.
Yeah.
So yeah, that definitely. So GCP Boleh is like another version of Majura GCP and also Java GCP, which is happening in Indonesia. So there are three different ones. So if you're watching on Indonesia and you miss that out, I think Java GCP is going to have another one very soon as well. And given that the popularity and everyone is staying at home, um, yeah. So yeah, so in this round, Wei and I is going to answer a little bit of a question here. The first one is actually receiving t-shirts, or sorry, receiving the t-shirt size. So there are some people who ask that they finished tier 3 and they submitted the email through the GCP landing page, and they find out that the form itself doesn't ask for their t-shirt size. Very interesting. Now, there is actually an answer to that. I'm going to answer this actually. Is that if you have completed tier 3 and you want to submit your results, and to those who do not know where to submit, I'm going to share my screen again. All right, so it's actually back in our GCP Boleh landing page, and beneath you scroll through straight down beneath, claim your swag, submit this form. This is the form where you submit. Even you have completed like tier 1 amount or tier 2 or tier 3, if you don't want to get tier 3 swag, you can still submit. So if you have completed tier 2, because tier 2 is the starting tier where you can get your t-shirt, and you find out that the form doesn't ask for your t-shirt size, don't worry, because the GCP Borean team will send another Google form to ask for your shirt size after you submitted this completion form for swags. So that is one part. Another questions I have, the email foundation if you're completed. Okay, so a lot of people actually completed the perform foundation infrastructure task in Google Cloud before, and when they actually try to log in from GCP Boleh, they find out they can't actually earn any credits. Actually, that is one thing that we've received a lot of comments about. Technically, we can't do on that much. The only way you can do it is that you have to create another account due to the fact that this is actually not this, although a Google Cloud training is still there's actually a third party one, although it's under Google Cloud, but there are certain configuration and settings that needs to be done on their side to enable a lot of different kind of changes. So as of now, what we know to the solution is that if you have completed previously performed foundational infrastructure tasks in Google Cloud, the specific quest, and you can't get the credits, what we recommend you to do is to create another new account and to move on from there. So that is what we recommend. Yeah. So that is a certain drawback. But if you have not done that before, then congratulations, you can continue with all the 9 credits and also monthly subscription. All right. I think that is about. Oh, there are questions. I'm gonna post it here. Does GCP Boleh occurs annually? It doesn't occur annually, but it almost occurs quarterly. It's more than annually. It's not one time. Yeah, and if you again, Wayan did mention that if you do follow our page on Facebook or GG Singapore is quite active on Twitter. I think is it which platform?
Not Twitter. I was saying like the Qwiklabs Twitter. Actually, Qwiklabs is their Twitter.
Yeah.
They're kind of active there. Yeah, you post a lot of this code. Yeah.
Yeah. But which platform you're the most active on for GG
Ah,
Cloud Singapore?
I would say mostly Facebook.
Oh, Facebook. Okay, same. So if you guys want to know more about GCPBoleh and also Google Cloud communities related stuff, do follow both our Facebook page because it's quite active, even though we don't reply very much. but but we do post a lot of events, which is active events, almost by 2 weeks once or 1 week once if it's active. GCPBoleh doesn't occur annually; it almost occur quarterly. So that's a good thing. So this is GCPBoleh 2.0. The first one is I think early this year, and Majura GCP has been like version 3 already. So that's a Singapore
Oh,
version.
second one, only second one.
Second one also. Oh yeah, I think the third version
only
is
2 times.
Jara GCP, right?
Java GCP, that one is a lot. I think I don't know, it's like season 4 or season 5 already.
Yeah. So that's the Indonesia's version. So so you might ask, is there a season 3? There may be, but there may be. Again, if you're in Singapore, do look out for Majura GCP. So that word itself, Majura GCP. So for Malaysia, it's GCPBoleh, and also if you're from Indonesia, it's Jora GCP. Very specific. Yeah, it's easy to remember as well. And any more questions? All right, how to complete? How to complete 12 quests in just 10 days. You have to grind. Yeah, well, all right. If you guys have not uh, got notice about the end deadline of this event, just going to remind you all is that it's until 15th of November. It's until 15th of November, which is, okay, it's not next week. Luckily, it's not next week. It's technically next Sunday. You do have 10 days. Right. So whoever is new, you have 10 days. I think given the fact that everyone is staying at home, I think you have more time. But yeah, you have 10 days.
Maybe I can give some tips here as well. One thing I would say is, sorry?
Oh yeah, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So I was about to say that, so for this, right, actually one thing I would say is if you're not familiar with some of the labs itself and what they are running on, right, because there's a huge selection of all those quests, don't go for those with the challenge lab at the end. If you go for that one and you don't know how to do that one, right, that means your entire quest, like you've done like maybe 6 of the labs, right, that all the 5 one, right, is actually will be like kind of a bit wasted until you finish the last one. So I'll actually recommend like before you jump in, right, like look through the labs itself. Maybe go for the ones without challenge labs first until you're a bit more familiarized with it. Another thing I'll say is that you can actually jump into each of the quests and find out like there are actually some of these labs, right, that occurs across multiple quests. So sometimes, right, you end up maybe you just do like 12 labs, right, but you end up completing like 2 to 3 quests instead because they actually repeat throughout. So one thing I'll say is, yeah, you can actually enroll into those targeted quest that you want to complete first. And when you do one lab, right, it's essentially like completing two labs in one 2 quests at the same time. Yeah. So I would say, yeah, those are you can try out this few like small tips lah to a bit boost your speed a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good advice. And at the same time, you don't actually have to log in to view the quest. Yeah, that's another good tip as well. If you're scared, yeah, you don't have to actually log into Qwiklabs to view the details of each of the labs or quests. You can always scroll down to find out whether they are a challenge lab, whether they have challenge lab or not. Yeah, so like when said, start with the ones that without challenge lab, you might speed up the process of getting more labs done in a short period of time. Right. I find another one quite interesting. I'm not sure whether some someone deleted it, or it's about DSC. Actually, we can't really answer that much, but we don't really know. Is it feasible to run cloud? Have you actually run cloud study jams before? For university in Singapore, where
No, but this one. So I'm guessing this Daniel itself might be a DSC club member.
I
So
guess so. I think so.
yeah, I
I guess
think
so.
ask your handler from Google. Because
Yeah.
the main part is you can actually run any event you want, but the difficulty is getting the code itself to give to people. And each
Yep.
of these codes, like for example, the one you got an email, right? There's actually a limited use to it only. So as an organizer, you talk to your handler, ask him like, get the resources for you. Yeah.
Yeah. But in my experience, we do partner sometimes with DSC in our local university. But of course, we are the ones that is providing all the specific codes for the Qwiklabs session. So that is one insight you might want to know for Daniel. Right. So and the last question before we close is: can we still do quests? This is a very good last question. Can we still do quests after 15th of November? The answer is yes, of course. The GCPBoleh is just like a virtual season where you gain the swags, like and as an encouragement and as a reward while doing your Qwiklabs session. Your Qwiklabs won't end after 15th of November. It's not tied with the Qwiklabs itself. It's only a virtual season, so that if you didn't submit your results, like tier 1, tier 2 results, within the given period, so like before 15th of November or 16th of November, is it 15 or 16? Yeah, 15, yeah, before 15th of November, then we won't count. So that is one part. Yeah, but Qwiklabs you can always continue to explore. You have 1 month. You still have a lot of time to explore other quests as you go and earn the other badge. Yep. So that is it. The only thing you can't do is get swags if you submit after 15 November. So that is one thing. Yeah. So if you have completed the amount which is matching tier 2 or tier 3, make sure that you submit so that you don't miss out the swags that you deserve. Yeah. So that is it. That is it from us. Ryan, anything to add on before we
Nope.
end our session? All right.
Good
Once
luck.
again, good luck. Yeah, 10 days until 15th of November. Yep. All right. Once again, I would like to thank Wei from GG Cloud Singapore for giving a small talk and helping out at GG Cloud KL in also introducing Qwiklabs and how it can work on the Cloud Shell side. All right. So
Thanks
I'll
for
see you
having me.
guys in the next time, the next event. Catch you guys soon. Bye.